always remember the people who are there for you. You see, it's not about who's there for you when you become blessed. When God starts blessing you and giving you all these different blessings, and God starts showering you all these gifts and prosperity, right? But always remember the people who are there for you. Because it's one thing for people to come there when you're blessed and successful, right? But it's another thing when people are there for you when you were going through trials and tribulations, when you had nothing, when you didn't even have a proper house to live in, when you were basically almost homeless, when you're struggling to pay your bills. Always remember those friends who are there for you, who supported you, who helped give you money to pay your bills, who helped give you money to eat, when you didn't have enough money for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Always remember those people, because oftentimes a lot of people, when they become successful, they turn their old friends who was loyal to them, and they start hanging around these rich friends who half the time don't even care about them. Listen, guys, one thing about loyalty is not based on how many friends you have after you become successful. Because a lot of rich people, this is one of the main things that rich people talk about. They say, well, it's like when you're rich, you're lonely. Because a lot of people, they're just in it for your money. They just care about you because of your money. They just use you for your money. But guess what? The people who is with you throughout the good times and the hard times, the people who are there for you when you have relationship problems, the people who are there for you when you were struggling to pay rent, when you were struggling to pay your mortgage, when you were just coming into God and you're leaving the world behind. It was such a hard transition for some people. Just remember, the people who is there for you, those are people you should always remember. Because a lot of times God placed them in your path, right, to help you. Because those are real friends. Because nowadays you ain't got too many real friends. Nowadays it's about what people have. It's about what you don't have. It's about what type of car you drive, what type of house you live in, which neighborhood do you live in, who were you married to. People just look at superficial stuff that have no weight. They have no significance. They don't care about a person's spirit. They don't care about how a person is doing. They don't care if a person is prospering and succeeding. All they care about is nonsense that can't help them. And this is why so many people, they cut their old friends off that was good to them. They start hanging around these rich people. They start hanging around these friends who don't really care about them. They just use them for their blessings, use them for how they look, for their appearance, for their public image. Then guess what? When if God forbid you start to drop as a person, guess what? Those people, those new friends, they just cut you loose. Because they was never in it from the beginning. They never really cared about you like that from the beginning. The only thing that they care about is what you had. The only thing they care about is because you were good to the public. They did not care about you as a person. They did not care about what you were going through. They did not care about if you were happy. The only thing they care about was what was in your wallet, what type of car you were driving, what type of blessings you had. When you see those friends who was there from the beginning, those are people you keep for life. Because those are people who was there for you and will always be there to support you. If you're a man, if you met your wife when you had nothing and she was willing to stay with you. Because nowadays you got so many women to where they'll even be with a man if he poor, if he struggle, if he work at the local Walmart. If you with the woman and she was bit with you your whole life, and she was with you throughout the whole journey, you guys are struggling, poor, you guys are struggling you were struggling to even pay your rent, to even get food, and she was there for you, she even supported you. When you marry that woman, man, you better not do that woman harm. You better not be horrible to her, because that's a woman who's kind of rare nowadays. Cause you ain't got too many women who gonna be there for their future husband, who gonna be there for a man in his hard times before they even get married. You ain't got people like that. You don't find genuine love like that too much nowadays amongst many people. So when you get that as a man, you cannot let that go. You can't destroy that. Same thing if you're a woman. If you are struggling to pay rent, if you're almost homeless, if you're basically sleeping in the street, sleeping in your car, and yet you have some man who came along and yet he was willing to help you, willing to help provide you food, willing to help pay you, willing to help put some money in your bills so you can have rent on your table, so you can have your cable bill, your light bill. Those are people you cannot neglect. So when you get married to that man, you better not do that man harm. You better submit to him as a great wife. Because you ain't got too many men nowadays like that. You got some men chasing all these Instagram models and all these women who are rich and successful online, and the woman who got the, certain type of body. Then, you got these women chasing these men who only because they 6 feet tall making 6 and 7 figures, just because of their public image. So when you meet people like that in life, when God sends those people, you cannot do those people wrong. Because those people are genuine people. You ain't got too many genuine people walk around nowadays. It's all about what the next person can do for me and me only. Many people only have a me mentality. They don't care about, can this person Can this person, can we help each other? No, people only think about what this person could do for them and do for themselves only. They don't think about how this person could benefit their life if they let them in. And that's why so many people do not receive genuine love, because genuine love nowadays, for many people, can be hard to come by. Because let me tell you something, a lot of men and a lot of women have said this, that when God sent people in their lives, great men and great women who was there for them throughout the good times and the bad times, who was there for them before they had anything, when they cut those people off, many people have always said that later on in life they always end up regretting it, because those are people who was there for them. Those are friends, those are future spouses who was great to them, who loved them, who had genuine love, who was willing to help them no matter what. And many people have said that if they could go back in time, they would never cut those people off. They would never broke off the relationship, broke off the friendship, because those are people who really cared about them. Guys, please be smart. God sends you a great person as a friend. God sends you a great spouse, a great wife as a man, a great husband as a woman. Please treat them right. I'm not saying y'all can't, have your little disagreements or agree to disagree on certain things. Of course, we're all humans. We all have a certain opinion on certain things. But please treat them right, because you ain't get too many genuine people like that nowadays. You ain't get too many people who want to help you no matter what. When God sends those people, treat them right, man. Do right by them. Try to work with each other. Try to work with each other instead of cussing each other out and degrading each other. Do not just cut people off who God sends, because the other people come in your life, they might only want you for what you got. They might not care about you as a person. Be smart, because the enemy, he doesn't want genuine relationships, genuine connections with followers of Christ. Because when God sends somebody in your life, he's going to send people who are genuine. He's not going to send people who are users, willing to care about what you only could do for them. No, God sends genuine people. So when God sends those people, you cannot hurt them. When God sends real followers of Christ who's there for you, who's willing to help bring your relationship with God to a new level, who are willing to help you grow into new heights in God, you can't do those people dirty, because they're there to help you and help you improve as a person. Please, be smart, be wise. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. Have a blessed day.